What's up guys, it's your boy Ethan, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and back here at Encore, it's been quite some time since I've actually played, maybe about a week or half a week. Regardless, it is a little too long for me, and we're back here playing again. Not sure what the plan is going to be today. I actually don't have a plan at all of what I want to play. Might hop into the 1-3 game for a little bit. There's a tournament going on that's starting in a little bit. I want to late reg for that tournament, so that means I might just hop into 1-3 for like an hour or two and then play the tournament. I like tournaments. I'm on the tournament kick. We'll see what happens, but anyways, if you want to support the channel, I would really appreciate it if you want to get one of these bad boy hats here. Link down below to check out some of the merch that I offer. Would really appreciate it if you just went and checked it out. Don't really have to get anything, but it'd be cool if you did. But besides that, let's get into some of the hands, see what happens. I still don't know what I'm going to be playing yet, and we'll find out. So we actually ended up neither playing 1-3 or the tournament to start off this session in this video here. We ended up playing the 2-5 game because there's a high hand going on in this casino, and honestly, not playing 1-3 during the high hand, it's just very unprofitable for the way that I play. One of the first hands that we look at, we have 4-5 of clubs in the small blind, and a middle position player limps. Cutoff raises to $30, and I decide to make the call. Could fold this, should be a little bit tighter from the small blind, but here we are playing our suited connectors here. Let's just go for it. The middle position player calls as well, so 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes King, Jack, 9, Rainbow. Action checks all the way around. Probably just going to be giving up here. Turn gives us a little bit of help and improvement to a 4 of diamonds. Once again, I check with bottom pair, and action checks around again. Weird enough, action is checked twice to the river now. River is another king. Here sitting with bottom pair, I think it can be good here a lot of the time, but so I check with my showdown, and now a middle position player who limped bets $55. The pre-flop raiser calls. The pre-flop raiser folds and actions onto me. Hands that can be betting for value to me seems like it's just like a pair of 9s or a lot of missed draws that's just trying to take it down after seeing a bunch of passive action on the flop and turn here. So I toss in chips to make the call with bottom pair, super light. He shows pocket 6s, and we unfortunately have to muck our hand, looking like a real buffoon first hand in this session. Next hand, we have 8-9 of diamonds in the small blind once again. We just love playing out of position. The under the gun player opens to $20. It folds all the way back to me. Once again, we love our suited connectors. We're facing an under the gun open, so he should be pretty strong a lot of the time, but can't help myself. I make the call, and we're going to a flop heads up. Flop comes 9-3-3 Rainbow. We flop top pair, decent board for us, I guess. I check call $20 when he c-bets, and we're off to a turn. Turn comes the 10 of hearts, brings in a full Rainbow, and I check once again with a pair of 9s. He bets $40, and I think a lot of hands that he can be c-betting and continue barreling, like Queen Jack suited, King Jack suited, hands that kind of pick up equity on this turn here. I don't let go of my pair of 9s just yet and decide to call. The river comes the King of Diamonds, and now we're kind of just giving up here. We lose to a lot of hands. I check, and he says that just because we're friendly, he checks back with a hand that I did not expect to check back ever. Pocket kings for kings full of 3s. What the hell is going on here? What are you doing, man? If you're watching this video, I'm not sure what you are doing in this spot. You aren't going to get any more value from me, but man, checking back with kings full. The third hand of the session, we just cannot get out of the small blind here. We have ace jack of spades, so a little bit better of holdings. We love playing out of position. The under the gun player opens at $20. The middle position player calls. Hijack makes the call, and here obviously not going to be folding. We love playing out of position. So we're going to a flop multi-way, which comes 8-8-9, 2 spades out there. Probably a better flop if we had 8-9 like last hand, but I'm not going to complain with the nut flush draw here. And action checks all the way to the hijack player, who bets $30. This down bet is super interesting. And here, when action's onto me, there's no need to check raise, I don't think, just yet. Given a really good price, we call and continue, and we're going heads up. Turn comes the Queen of Diamonds, improves our hand to a gut shot along with our nut flush draw. Since this queen does improve our hand just a little bit, we can opt to check raise here. So here I check, planning on putting in the raise here and trying to get him off this hand. He checks it back, unfortunately, so he doesn't bite. So we're going to a river. The river is the 5 of spades, and now we've got the basically not flush. So when he checks back to the turn, it's clear that we can eliminate any 8s from his range. Just never going to be checking back with trips there. And honestly, not going to get a whole lot of money from a pair of 9s, and I don't think he has any one pair hands like a pair of queens as well in his range. So really only getting value from worse flushes or straights that he might have had open-ended on the flop there. So I decided to bet larger since we're not really going to be getting any value from the bottom part of his range anyways. I throw out a sizing of $150. He thinks about it and makes the call. Good for us. We show and we're good. And he said that he had straight flush blockers. So did he play 6-7 offsuit? I guess that's kind of it, because if he had the blockers, then I don't really know what else he could have had. Maybe a smaller flush, pretty weird flush if he had it. I'm not really sure, but we'll take this down and win a pretty decent sized pot. Next hand we go. We found a way to improve our position. We're in the big blind now with pocket 8s. The unliam player once again opens it up to $15. There are 4 callers to me, and just going to play this very standardly. Toss in an extra $10, and we're going to a flop. The flop 6 ways comes Jack 7-7 Rainbow. Not the worst board at all, but we're playing 6-handed or 6-way to this flop. Someone's got to connect with this board somehow. Action actually ends up checking all the way around, hopefully trying to find some improvement. The turn comes the 10 of spades, which is pretty interesting. Brings in a backdoor flush draw and improves us to a gut shot straight draw as well. Small blind checks and actions onto me, trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm really not trying to turn my pair of 8s into a bluff just yet. I decide to check. Action checks all the way to the cutoff player, and he bets $50. Really weird spot. I think he could sometimes be trying to take a stab at this. There's very little draws in his range because I block a lot of them. And I guess he could be betting with a 1-pair hand, like a pair of 10s. That really could make the most sense. I can check raise or I can flat. I think I like to check raise a little bit more to put some more pressure onto him, but I decide to make the call, hopefully try to improve, take my showdown after the river. So I call, everyone folds, going to a river, heads up. The river is a complete brick, the 5 of hearts. I decide to check with my pair of 8s. He bets $80, and let's try to not make the same mistake as the very first hand. Probably could have just check raised and gotten pocket 6s off of the hand previously. I decided to check raise to a sizing of $300, putting all of his 1-pair hands into a lot of pressure and a lot of trouble. He thinks about it for a while and really praying for a fold here, turning my 8s into a bluff at this river here. He thinks and lays it down, says nice hand. So it looks like he folded probably a 10. Unlikely that he folded a jack, but we'll take this down here. Happy with the result, I guess. I don't love the line that I took, but definitely needed to check raise and bluff at this to win this hand. All right, just played cash for about like an hour, 45 minutes. I don't really know how much. I'm gonna cash out for this much. I have no idea how much this is. I haven't counted out yet, but I'll show the link right now on the graphic as to what I was in for. I was in for 600. I think I booked a small win. I'm gonna hop into the $140 tournament right now. I'm gonna late reg. At the end of registration, I just can't play the first couple levels of the tournament, and 2-5 went well actually. Didn't expect to play 2-5, but I forgot that this was actually this was a Wednesday, so there's the $1,500 high hand every 30 minutes, and the 1-3. I just can't adjust to the play style of high hand days or low stakes cash games. So went up to 2-5 and, you know, made a few moves and booked a decent win. I might play some more 2-5. This is kind of what I needed to kind of increase and boost my confidence of playing 2-5. I feel like I can hang with the field, and the table I was actually on was pretty good, but I'm in for the tournament grind. We're gonna see what happens. So I'm gonna figure out how much this is. I might be a free roll essentially to the tournament. I think I won more than $140. So anyways, wish us luck, and we are gonna see how this tournament grind in life goes. Onto the tournament we go. We're in level 7. Blinds are 300, 600, 600, sitting with 17.6k in a specific hand. We're in middle position with ace-4 of clubs. An early position player limps, and he's been very, very passive. And this table itself has actually been super passive. So I decide to rip it all in real quick with suited ace-4, trying to generate some folds. We jam. Not really recommended because the cutoff makes the call. He cold calls, so that is just horrible. And we're going to see a run out. We are up against ace-king offsuits. We're totally dominated. We really, really need some help. We need some clubs on the board here. The flop comes Jack 7, 8, 2 hearts. Not great. The turn comes a 6, so we actually have a gut shot straight draw now, so we actually do improve, but the river is the 4 of spades. Wow, that is dirty. We river him with a pair of 4s. We double up here against ace-king offsuit. A little bit fishy, or a lot of bit fishy, but we double up and strip up here. Next level we go, level 8, we pick up ace-king of diamonds under the +1 with 33k in our stack. I open it up to 2500. A middle position player with a pretty big stack decides to make the call. He's been super aggressive, jamming and overbet jamming a lot, trying to take down pots. So we're going to see what develops here. The flop is ace 4 5, 2 diamonds out there. What a dream flop for us. Cannot ask for a better flop without hitting a pair here. So I c-bet $25. He quickly just insta ships it, covering me. And here, we're either going to live and survive or we're going to die here. Definitely not going to be folding. We decide to make the call. We're up against pocket 9, so we're flipping right here. Let's try to hit our outs. The turn brings no help. It is the 7 of clubs. The river is the queen of diamonds. Yes, once again, the dirty river. We double up once again, and we're up to 67k. Next level, interesting spot here in level 9. We have ace 6 of spades on the button, and we're actually playing 6-handed now. I open up the action on the button to 3,000. The small blind, same player from last hand, he actually jams his entire stack in for 18,000. He was definitely not happy with my call with ace king on that flop there, and he definitely can be doing this light. Folds all the way to me. I have a pretty big stack right now. He can be jamming light with some sort of queen x suited hand, king x suited hand, but the issue is that I am dominated by a bunch of his bigger ace x's that he can be jamming with. That's definitely in that range. So I think about it and contemplate it, and at the end of the day, I thought that he can be jamming just a little bit too light. I call and defend with ace high, and we are actually right. We're up against king queen of spades, so we're ahead right now, going to a flop which comes king jack 7. Not good for us, and the turns and rivers do not improve us with the 5 and 8. We unfortunately double him up, and we're sitting with 47,000 in our stack now. Really unfortunate. Next hand, we skip to level 12, and I have pocket 6s on the button with only 28,000 in our stack. Stack is really chipped down. I made a pretty terrible hero call with an underpair to the board. I'll talk about that later. That's pretty just bad. But action folds to me, and here with pocket 6s on the button, definitely an easy jam spot here. So I open jam. The big blind asks for a count and decides to make the call. So let's try to double up here. We're up against ace king offsuit. Saying the flop comes jack 7 4, all black. The turn is the 6 of spades, and the river is the 10 of spades. Really thought that he had 4 spades on the board here because the board was literally all black. But we actually end up finding a double up, and we improve here, and we are up to around 60,000 in chips onto the break.
I'm gonna sell
Up to break number 1 right now. There are about 15 players left, and 6 players make the money, and we really need that double up. Chip, my stack is sitting around like 60,000 or a little bit over 60,000. Needed that double up bad after I made a pretty horrible hero call. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I am hero calling with an underpair to the board. It's pretty bad. So what happened was I had pocket 8s from early position, and I opened pre-flop and then folded to the big blind who checked, who thought I just limped, but no, I raised. So he checked, but then called the raise regardless. So I felt like his limping slash calling range was super wide. It seemed like flop was ace high. It was like ace 10 9, all hearts. Pretty disgusting board. Action goes check check on the flop there. I am holding the 8 of hearts, which is decent. The turn is a king of diamonds, and he checks to me once again. Here, I kind of want to turn my hand to a semi-bluff, I think. I think my hearts can be good sometimes, my 8s can be good sometimes. So, pretty bad bet, I think, here. So I bet, like, a third pot, and he makes the call. He looks at his cards and makes the call. Then off to a river, which was a offsuit deuce, which is just a complete brick. He sized up for a pot-sized bet, and this didn't make a lot of sense to me, this line of checking flop, just flat calling turn. If he had a really good hand, then he should be flat calling. If he had a really good hand on the turn, then he should be raising here all the time. And this deuce shouldn't change anything. So here with just a pair, I think he has like a busted heart draw or something. Wow, that is loud. I call with pocket 8s, leveled myself into a call. He shows ace deuce suited. So deuce did change a lot of things. Wow, that slot machine is so loud. So that was the hand. We're on break right now, so we're gonna see what happens. There's 15 players left, like I said. Wish us luck. We'll try to hold and make the money. Top 6 get paid. In level 13, one of the very first hands, we are in the small blind with King Deuce of Hearts, and action ends up folding to me, and here with King Deuce, can raise sometimes, but I decide to open limp. Let's play some flops here, and the big blind checks, so we're going to a flop, heads up, out of position, blind versus blind here. The flop is pretty beautiful for us. It is King 10-8, 2 hearts out there, flopping top pair, and the King high flush draw. I bet 5,000. This player is actually the same player from the past couple of hands. He's very aggressive and decides to ship it on me. He covers me, and I'm never getting away from this spot here ever. Even if I'm up against a bigger king, I mean, we still have pretty good equity with the flush draw and the deuce kicker to hopefully improve the 2 pair. I snap call. We're up against king queen offsuits. Not the best situation for us, but let's try to improve to a heart. The runout is a 7. Followed by another 7, none of which that are hearts, and unfortunately we're out in this tournament, relatively close-ish to the money, but not really. Just busting out of a tournament leaves such a sour taste in my mouth. It's just, I'm so annoyed. Like, I'm very competitive. I hate losing. I really hate losing, and that's it. So that's it. I'm in a pretty bad mood because I busted. Busted, I think, in 14th or 13th place. Top 6 make the money. I mean, that's a spot where I'm just never folding, especially in a limped pot. Even if he had 2 pair, he had me dominated with the king. Somehow he woke up with king queen there, and the flop was just kind of gin for the both of us. He faded the hearts, and that's what happened. Yeah, I don't know, just not really ever getting away from it. I snap called the all in, just yeah, never getting away. So that's it. At the end of the day, this day, I ended up plus $15. Made 155 in 2-5, lost 140 in the tournament. Woo! That's fun. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to the channel, would really appreciate that, and stay safe, guys, because the NBA just postponed their season, which is just absolutely crazy. So stay safe, stay healthy, use the hand sanitizer, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.